Thanks for checking out this video. If you are a subscriber, thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I would appreciate it, and you can keep up with all my happenings, mainly right now, the Subaru, the 2019 Subaru Forester Sport. In this video, I'm going to do an install of the Torklift Ecohitch. I'm going to tell you how that experience went. As far as getting my Ecohitch, didn't go well. I don't know if it was the holidays or what it was that was part of the reason, but originally I had ordered the Ecohitch from Torklift and was excited to receive it. As time ticked away, had a trip I was going on, and I wanted to make sure I got it before that, so it wasn't going to be left out on my porch while I was out of town for 2 weeks. So, you know, with lots of communication with Torklift, they assured me that I would receive it before I left. Well, didn't happen. We left, and of course it was delivered while we were out of town, and somebody is enjoying an Ecohitch or selling it or whatever the deal is. So that's the disappointment. I will say the Torklift's customer service, I hate to say it, was a horrible experience for me. They kept telling me they were going to call me back, and I never received a call back except for the last person that helped me, which was the person who issued my refund for my purchase. So as far as that went, that was the only positive part that came out of it, was they did give me a call back to make sure I got my money back. It's a little disappointing. I still don't know what my options are, but I was able to secure one from a buddy for this install video, and who knows, maybe I'll give him a chance, maybe I'll wait for something else. I don't know. But I will tell you, Torklift, the Ecohitch, has one of the higher tongue weight ratings of 350 pounds, which is a plus, and why I like it. And it's very well hidden where only the hitch portion shows, so another reason why I like it. So I don't know where we're at right here and now with our decision with the Ecohitch, but check out the video, and if you have it, you can see how the install goes. If you're looking to get one, you can see how the install goes and what it looks like once it's installed. Check it out. So this is what the hitch looks like before installation. You'll see that it has a tongue weight of 350 pounds and a toe weight of 3,500 pounds. Okay, so we're going to start by opening the rear hatch, and we need to remove these plastic covers where the brake lights are. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the screws. They are plastic screws, so you know, just be careful with it and don't lose them. And once you get those removed, just pop these off. Takes a little prying to get them off, but they will pop off. Just be careful not to break them. And then go to the other side and repeat the whole process over. Now you want to go under your wheel wells and remove all these plastic clips that are holding the bumper together. And then there's more underneath the vehicle, so make sure you get them off. After we have all those removed, we're going to pry the bumper off. It's a little tough, but just be careful and take your time, and it will come loose. And be sure to disconnect this plug. Okay, you're going to want to use a breaker bar with a 14mm socket to remove the bolts holding the bumper support on. Once they are loose, you can use your drill to remove the bolts. Going to the exhaust, and you're going to want to remove the exhaust from the hangers. It helps to use some WD-40 lubricant or whatnot because it's really stubborn and it'll help. Once the exhaust is dropped down, you want to remove the heat shield. Remove the middle rubber seal on each side. This is where you're going to fish through the bolt to secure the hitch to the frame. And here's your bolt kit. Take your 4 shorter bolts and apply a lock washer and a flat washer. Take the hitch and line it up. Make sure everything lines up properly. And you could do whatever you like with your bumper support. Now we're going to take the long bolts and apply the rectangle washer, and we're going to run our fisher through that hole that we removed the rubber sealer through. Pull it through, and then we will thread the bolts in and pull it back through and secure it. And then repeat the same process on the opposite side. Once you get those bolts fished through, you're going to want to go ahead and reinsert the bolts that were holding the bumper support on. Make sure you do not completely tighten them at this point. That will come later. Now you're going to apply the 2 washers and the nut to the long bolts that go through the frame. For the new bolts, you're going to want to take a 17mm socket to tighten them up. You can use your drill to start the process, but you will need to torque them down later. get your torque wrench and torque the bolts to spec. You're going to want to use a crescent wrench to hold the bolt which is inside the frame while you torque down the bolt from underneath the car. It's a little tricky with the limited space you have to work with, but it will work. Now take your exhaust heat shield and we're going to cut out this section where the M is. And once you have that done, we can reinstall the heat shield. After installing and tightening all the screws, we can now lift the exhaust back up on the hangers. Now we got to cut out an opening in our bumper for the tow hitch to fit. The easiest way I found to do this was to remove the bottom portion of the bumper. Using a flathead screwdriver helps to unclip it. Now go ahead and reinstall the upper portion of the bumper. Don't forget to plug in the plug and go ahead and snap it back in reverse as the same way you removed it. Make sure it all fits properly and make sure everything is tucked where it should be, and go around and reinsert all the plastic clips. you can take the bottom portion and see how it's going to line up and how much you're going to need to cut. Get your measuring tape and measure it out and find center of the bumper, so you can measure out where to do your cut and make sure it's centered. Make sure your measurements are correct and mark. I chose to apply tape to outline the area that I'm cutting. You might even want to take a square to make sure that it is straight. Use a cutoff wheel and make your cuts. Be careful. If you're anything like me, you don't want to scratch up or damage any part of the bumper that you will be keeping. After completing your cuts, you can round off the edges and also take a file to smooth out the rough edges. Reapply the lower portion of the bumper and we are almost finished. Last to do is to reapply the brake light covers and screw them back in. And last but least, make sure you don't end up with tape stuck to your back like I did. So again, I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I would appreciate a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and a definite like on the video if you liked it. I can't see how you couldn't like it, but I always know it's always somebody who doesn't like a video no matter how good it is. They're out there. I hope it's not you. Anyway, I'll take the likes, appreciate it. I will say I'm also excited that next weekend is my birthday, and we are going to be taking a trip to Utah, do some snowboarding and all whatnot. So it's gonna be the baby's first trip in the snow. They're gonna have a week-long snowfall out there, so we'll see how we do. We're going without chains, so I hope that's not a bad mistake. Everybody's telling me don't need them, so we're going with that, and I will have video on that. So again, make sure you're subscribed so you can see how this baby performs in the snow, because I will be posting that probably along with some cool little snowboarding videos in Bryan Head, Utah. So check it out.